Okay.
Okay, we've got a few minutes, man. I'm just gonna go get a quick coffee. It'll take me 3 minutes or up.
Yeah.
Planets bloom like dreams in your sight. Echoes of galaxies painted in light. Time bends, it's endless day or night. You're a voyager, chasing the blue. No map, no guide, just the stars and you.
Yeah, I need to be in bed, Twidget. No problem, man.
Welcome to Star Citizen. Stars explode like diamonds in the dark. Metal wings slicing through the spark. Gravity whispers a secret so stark. The void hums, it's calling you. Are you ready to chase the unknown? Feel the pull of a world unshown. Welcome to Star Citizen, where the skies are yours to spin. Fly high, dive deep, let the game begin. Welcome to Star Citizen. Planets bloom like dreams in your sight. Echoes of galaxies painted in light. Time bends, it's endless. Day or night, you're a voyager chasing the blue. No map, no guide, just the stars and you. A cosmos of questions, the answers few. But every step's a story, every leap is new. Welcome to Star Citizen, where the skies are yours to spin.
Be 2 minutes late. Chin shield. Alright.
I'm late.
Yeah, I'm gonna be late.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
I just need like 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome to Star Citizen. Have a nice day. Welcome to Star Citizen. Have a nice day. Woke up in a hangar, don't know where I am. Hood says seraphim, but my ship says scram. Pads gone missing, floors are whole. Elevator drops me through my soul. someone's ship exploded near the bay. Welcome to Star Citizen. Have a nice day. Welcome to Star Citizen. Have a nice day. Crash through the floor.
Okay.
Now I'm
We ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
welcome to Star Citizen.
Right, yeah.
Have a nice day. Bloody fucking quantum blue, my
Going live.
Is my music coming through?
I got the music.
Oh, we can stop it.
Nice.
Let's welcome this. Right, here we are.
Here we are.
G'day, Frenchie. Ghost of Grim Twidget.
Hey, John. 07, man. Ah, Chinshield is muted. Oh, they can't hear me, man. What are you doing?
Wait. How about now?
How about now? How about now, John? Good. Good, they can hear me. La 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 la.
Awesome.
All right.
And all the shared chats coming through on our chat. Yep.
Which one is
Cool.
Chen? I'm the one on the top. Depending on which stream you're watching. Well, here we
Everyone's
are.
The music in the background. Can you hear my music?
I can
I got
hear
some
your
chill
music.
music. Okay, well, you can just set the volume to where you want. I need something going. Otherwise, it's just quiet.
I
And the
like
sound
your-
of my own voice.
I like your chill music, man.
It's all about Star Citizen too, right? So, rightio. Well, how do we start this thing?
I don't know. We should introduce ourselves. You want to go first?
Yes. Yep. I'm the Aussie Viking.
Good day, Sunrise Suppressor.
Mate. Yeah, g'day, Sunrise Suppressor. I'm the Aussie Viking, and today me and Chinshield, the dude underneath me. Oh, I don't know. On his screen, I think I'm on the bottom and he's at the top.
Yes.
But yeah, today we're here to talk about Star Citizen and everything Star Citizen, and maybe a couple things non-Star Citizen, but it's probably all Star Citizen. There you go, mate. Your turn.
Hey, I'm Chinshield. I play Star Citizen avidly. A lot of people know a lot about Star Citizen. I know a lot about playing Star Citizen. I play at least 6 or 7 hours a day. It's what I do. And I'm here to talk about that with y'all this morning.
Okay. Right on. What are we doing now?
We should talk about Star Citizen. Let's talk about the PTU.
Righto. I flew from from Stanton to Nix last night, man.
Yeah.
Then I flew to Levski. It worked really well.
Did you get caught in the field? What is it? What is it called? The interdiction field on the way there?
No.
Yeah, I flew yesterday. We stole a Corsair at Nix at Levski, flew it to Pyro, flew it to Stanton, flew it back to Nix. On our way to Levski, we got caught in a interdiction field briefly, and one of the guys was saying, well, that's probably to keep aliens and shit at bay, you know, like bad people or whatever, keep them from getting to Levski. We just had to fly a little bit away from the field, and we were able to finish jumping into Levski. So that was pretty cool.
I was slow flying through Levski. That was cool, man.
I would have low flied through Levski, but the lag was supreme. I could not. I could barely do 50 freaking meters a second without crashing into something. The lag was so bad. But this morning, last night they had an update to the PTU. So this morning I got on and tested it out a little bit. You know, put my armor on, went to the different stores to get ammo and cruise lux and this and that. And the lag was not bad. I was probably running 40 or 50 frames a second this morning.
So Twidget says Nix is the home of Vandal incursions. The UE is very at home there, despite it being a very blue color system. You know, I read in the patch notes something about Vandal.
Yeah, there's going to be the Vandal are supposed to show up in the new patch. Yeah, there's supposed to be missions where you go and help out this new faction against the Vandal. It's supposed to be you go in to help them out, and then they turn out to be it turns out to be an ambush or something.
Yeah, Shadowblade. Shadowblade? Is that the new faction?
Yeah, that's the one. Where did I see that?
Make the turrets a jam.
Are you excited for the purchase?
No, I can't. The RSI comlink, there it is. Let's pull this up.
I don't know what to do, man. Sorry.
That's alright. Just getting our feet underneath us. Let's see. This is a PvE mission centered around gaining access to a high-value loot rooms inside a space station. You investigate the Shattered Blade base. Upon arriving, the player will see Vandal attacking the Shattered Blade. Does that mean we actually get to see the Vandal? Like, not just the ships, but the actual Vandal? That's what I want to know.
FPS drops, you are delayed. Game still janky, but we love it that way. Every wipe, we're here to stay. Welcome to Star Citizen, have a nice day.
Yeah, that red spot in space is where Vandal live. And we're supposed to be able to see it. I have not seen it yet, Twidget. But the lag was real. I couldn't see much of anything, you know.
Citizen, have a nice day.
So did we want to talk about dudes that hate on Star Citizen and play it anyway? Who are these guys?
I do, but at the same time, I don't want to knock people for what they do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So if we do bag on people, I will still share their video and recommend that you watch them.
Yeah.
Even if my opinion varies.
Yeah. I think John hates on Star Citizen but plays it anyway. I hate on Star Citizen a little bit, but you know, I've only been playing for 8 months, and I don't feel like I'm an authority on the matter. You know, like some of these guys have been playing since the beginning. They've been pledged into this system since the very beginning of the game, and they have pledged on ships that haven't even finished developing yet, you know, and they were promised certain features in the game that haven't happened yet, and then, you know, there's the lag, there's falling through planets, there's the broken navigation system, and these all contribute to everyone just a general malaise in the universe, you know, in the community of Star Citizen. And I can understand why they're a little pissed off that the game hasn't developed more than what it has, you know. I think, you know, I watched one video about the Kickstart movement, and how most of these games just kind of fell through the wayside and failed. Some of them were scams, probably, and a lot of people still feel like Star Citizen is a scam. You know, I don't feel that way. I think, if it was a scam, we wouldn't have a freaking game to play. But it's a game. You can actually play it. It's not finished, but it's in a state of playability that's a lot more than what some of these other games that failed were. Yeah, they went too far for it to be a scam. And they raised a shit ton of money doing this game, more than most of the other Kickstarters
Scammed me.
did. What's that?
They got me hook, line, and sinker, mate.
Oh,
If
they
it's a
got me
scam.
too. They got me too. I've spent thousands on this game already in just 8 months. I'm not really a whale, but is there a link for Mr. Viking's stream? Ooh. What's your link, Viking? I want to type it in.
Just shout me out.
Yeah,
Just
let me
wait.
give you a shout
Yeah,
out.
just shout.
Let's see, the Z underscore Viking, right?
Yep. Oh, I've got all shout outs turned off on this scene.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Twidget. Did you
Yeah,
get
everybody
myself
go.
in?
Everybody who's watching me, go over and watch Viking too. Man, I gotta tell you that music's really in my ears, dude.
Twitch at TV just followed.
Oh, is it? You want me to stop it?
Vikings.
Yeah, that would be helpful. That music's just really in my ears. I feel like I'm having to scream over it. I don't know how to turn it down. That's something we got to work on for the next stream, I guess. Next time we do this.
Yep.
Yeah, so the game's in an unfinished state. They say it's still an alpha, but the lawyers are saying that it's in a state of completeness. I forget what the exact. You know what? If you watch Jim's stream or podcast, he'll tell you what the lawyers say. But they say it's in a state of completeness, or whatever. I don't know what the legal language is, but they have their opinion.
It's a live service now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
it?
what they say. That's what they say. It's a live service, and whatever. And some people are saying, "Well, see, that means the game's released. It's completed." But they're. But then again, I mean, you've got games like Elite Dangerous that they've been developing that for 10 years too. That was a Kickstarter game too, wasn't it? And but Elite Dangerous is nowhere near on the scope of Star Citizen. Elite Dangerous is a great game for what it is, and I played Elite Dangerous for 7 or 8 years.
You can't run around your ship in Elite Dangerous, can you?
Right, you can't.
You can't get out while you're flying along and
No.
go down to the pool table or
Right.
or go heal yourself
You
or
can
jump
land
in
on
the pool.
you can land on a planet and get out of your ship, but you push the button, get out of your ship, and then it goes to a load screen, and then you're just standing outside your ship, and then you can go and scan plants or whatever, or go get into FPS battles and stuff. But they don't look as good as they do in Star Citizen, and they feel very hollow. And by the way, it all looks the same in Elite Dangerous. No matter what combat zone you go to, it looks exactly the same as the other combat zone you were just in. Hey, Meta.
G'day, Metaphysical. How you going? Okay. Have you ever been to an IAE before? Intergalactic Aerospace Expo.
No, I haven't. This is my first year for the IAE. I hope I don't spend too much money.
Yeah, well, it's a thing. But CCUs are the way to go, mate.
Yeah.
Then you can work on it instead of having the big lump sum payout. You know what I mean?
You know, yeah, that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. I don't listen though. I wouldn't know anything about CCUs. I don't have the patience to buy ship after ship to get the one I really want. I just want to buy the one I really want, you know. Like when I bought the Polaris, I just said, "You know what? I want a Polaris." It came up for sale. I fucking bought it, you know. Just like that.
Yep.
That's
Cool.
how I roll. That's how I roll. And you know what? I might melt the Polaris if I go to IAE and I really like the Perseus or something. I might just say, you know what? I like this better than the Polaris. I'm buying it, and then I might just melt the Polaris. I mean, you know, I love Twidget and everything, and he sold me on the Apollo and everything. But you know what? Hate to tell you, Twidget, I melted my Apollo, and I bought a daggum Guardian MX. I melted my Apollo and my Reclaimer. You know, because of what I melted the Reclaimer because of what they did to salvage, and that's um you know, and that's why I can kind of understand why some of these people are disgruntled about the game, because I got a little disgruntled about what they did with the Reclaimer, you know. I mean, in order to salvage now, you have to go and do what you do with the Reclaimer, which is the same. And they made some quality life improvements on the Reclaimer. Like now you can see where the other guy's laser is pointing. You got the ejection chute drops down further now, so you can get the boxes off real easy. Even those 16 SCU boxes, you can just dump them right out the back now, no problem. But now,
It
huh?
it seems like a lot more work though now.
No,
Like
it's
you've got to take it and refine it, and
that's what I was going to get into. You know, they made it easier to
do
do the
you,
things you do with the Reclaimer, but now, um, yeah, I suck as a human being because I melted my Apollo. Sorry, Twidget. Um, I've still got a Cuddy Red. But anyway, now when you want to unload and refine everything on the Reclaimer, now you would think that you would just leave the construction material on the grid, right? And you could dock and put it in the refinery right from the
yeah, nah.
Reclaimer. No, you can't dock at a Lagrange station and put your stuff in the refinery. You have to land it somewhere like Orison or Area 18, offload all the construction material in RMC, sell the RMC, load up the construction material back up onto another ship, take it to a Lagrange station, unload it, then you can put it in the refinery, and then you got to wait 24, 48 hours, whatever, before you can sell it. And then you don't get nothing for it, you know? So they kind
Yeah,
of, they kind of nerfed
they nerfed the price big time,
salvage
did they? Didn't
hard.
they?
Yeah, they nerfed it hard. And it's just not that much fun
It's
anymore.
like 3 times more work now. You got to move the boxes twice and thrice, and
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the gripes are from some of these commentators. They don't want you. They say that CIG doesn't want you making in-game money. You know, they don't want you making in-game currency so that you'll buy their ships with real money and they'll have more money to develop the game with. That's what the big gripe is. I don't know. I think it's kind of balanced, but they say that the whole business model is they want to keep you buying ships. They just want to design ships so that you'll buy them so that they'll have more money. You know, but the truth of the matter is, I think, is that they're really developing the game. They're really trying to make this game better. And I've seen that since I've been playing. I've admittedly I've only been playing for 8 months, almost 9. You know, but I've already seen a lot of improvements in the game. I mean, when I started playing back in February, half the time you couldn't even get an elevator to take you to your hangar after you called your ship in, you know?
I think I started back in June 22 or 23.
Yeah. Was that during like the infamous 3.18 patch?
I think I started in a 3.16 or 3.17 free fly. But good 3 years ago now. 3 and a bit years. 3.5 years nearly.
Yeah. And what's your experience about the gameplay? Is it improved significantly for you?
The game has come a long way in the last 3 years, man. But, they've taken all of this stuff out that they haven't put back yet, and it was like all these, they had mission givers that you'd have to go and physically talk to. You'd have to interact with them to get dialogue, right? To get the contract, and that at least it that gave you something to do, and it made it more immersive, rather than just pressing F1, getting a contract, and going and doing your contract. They forced you to have to go to a physical place, meet some dude, have an interaction with him, which is what most MMOs try to bring to the table, right?
Yeah,
And
even Elite Dangerous does that.
just not, it's not in Star Citizen. It used to be, there used to be Rudo at GrimX, the hologram on the shelf, and then there's Twitch at Area 18. All these people are still there, and they still have all these dialogue options, but they're switched off. And, that'd make it just that little bit more immersive, feel like you're in a world instead of a giant sandbox, which is really kind of what it is. That no one's really interested in the story, man. No one's, like, it's just words on a screen. Oh yeah, I'll take that one. It pays 100 grand.
Yeah. Now, I think I've read in places that they're planning on bringing mission givers back at some point, and I'm really curious
Well,
to see
they
if
have
and when
discussed
that'll
this
happen.
recently.
Yeah. What's up?
Awkward silence, pause, mate.
Yeah,
You know.
awkward pause. Getting less cash for more work, no thanks. Why the wizard? What do you mean there?
Yeah, that's the reclaimer. That's the reclaimer work, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Going and first you got to stack your boxes, because if you're on a working reclaimer, that stuff's pumping out pretty quick, right? Especially if you're just, dissolving and sucking, right? Or
No.
fracturing and dissolving, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How?
And you can pump it out pretty quick, but I don't know, moving all these boxes and then having to move them again, just to have to move them again, and then once you're finished, you gotta. Can you put it on your ship straight from the refinery, or do you have to bring it up on a lift?
You can probably put it straight on your ship from the refinery. I haven't tried that yet. That's a good question. I think it's just like the mining materials, because with mining you can have it put straight on your ship, but then you run the risk of having a bug happen. You call your ship up in the hangar and it's doing the belly flop in the hangar and stuff, all that crazy stuff. You go back to the ASOP terminal destroyed only to find out your ship is destroyed and all your stuff is gone. All that stellarin and ricite and quantanium that you've spent all those hours trying to find in mine, it's just gone, So it's better to pull it up in the freight elevator, I think.
Yep.
So
Tonight, Kirk Kev is the podcast, me and Chin Shield, mate. G'day, Fiber Limper. If anyone's got any questions or anything they want to ask me or Chin Shield, feel free.
yeah, we're definitely fielding questions. We want to make this about you guys as much as about us. Where's the
Okay,
question channel? There's questions up here. Let's see.
yeah. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Right.
I do believe if it's an African swallow, it's like 13 meters a second or something. And if it's a European swallow,
Someone
it's between 11 and
put a
15
link
meters a
on
second.
here. Someone put a link on here. Let's see. It says estimating the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. I don't know. It didn't give us a straight answer. Okay, species. Zebra finch, downy woodpecker. I don't know. It's very technical stuff here. So I don't know what the airspeed of an unladen swallow is. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The cruising speed of the European swallow would be roughly 16 meters per second.
Well, there you go. Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. I'm just kidding. That wasn't stupid, Ozzy. Someone wanted to know what our favorite ships were. You want to go first? Favorite ship in the game and
no.
why?
I'll let you go first.
You want me to go first? Man, that's a hard question. Really, that's kind of a loaded question because I saw this question this morning. I said, what's your favorite color?
Well done,
Green.
Coco.
And what is your name? Chin Shield 01. That's my name. And my favorite color is green. Yeah, my favorite ship. I had to think about this one because I'm not sure I have one. I mean, the Wolf. I love the fucking Wolf. I don't fly it nearly as much as I ought to, as much as I love it. I love the way it feels. I love the animation of getting up into the Wolf and firing up those engines and pulling it off the ground, and it just zooms off the ground and you just go. You know, the feeling of flying the Wolf is unmatched by any other ship in the game. But I tell you what, the runners up are. I think the Asgard is a good runner up because it's just a really good utility ship. You can do just about anything with it. It holds like what 100, almost 170 SCU of cargo. I'm pledged the Asgard because when 1.0 comes and the big wipe comes, I want to have a good cargo ship that can do pretty much anything. You can haul a Nova tank on it. You can defend yourself.
Yeah, there's
with
not
it
many
pretty
ships.
good.
There's not many ships you can drive an Nova tank onto. And it's a Nova tonk. Alright, one of the devs called it a tonk one day.
Yeah.
So it's tonk for life.
A tonk.
Alright. Yeah. Rightio. So the Asgard, that's your favourite ship, is it?
No, well, I like the Asgard's a runner up. I like the Wolf.
You like the Wolf?
Yeah,
You know what?
I like the Wolf.
Oh, you don't want to know what I think about the Wolf.
What do you think about the Wolf? Go ahead and tell us. Everyone wants to know what you think now.
Okay, if you look up E1 Formula race boats, right?
Yeah.
And look at the side profile of that. It's a spitting image of the L21 Wolf.
Yeah,
Now,
it
also,
looks like a racing boat mixed with a freaking Naboo fighter, and
it's a spitting image, and then also
Spitfire.
if you go and look at the old E1 Formula racing logo,
yeah,
it's the 21 on the side of the Wolf, dead set. It's a spitting image.
that's fine.
Right.
And then you
But
know
apart
what? Reed points out that
but
the
apart from that,
890 looks like a yacht.
It's a buoy.
So, yeah,
It's
I
supposed
love
to,
it.
though.
I love it though. That's what you don't like about the Wolf is it looks like a boat.
No, I just think they could have been a bit more original instead of just
Yeah, and the
it's
Scorpius looks
copy
like
and
an
pa-
X-wing, so you know it's all good.
that. Hey, Twidget, I don't agree with you.
I think the it's got that same, what do they call it, a recessed canopy or something. It's got the same kind of canopy as the British Spitfire. But it does look like a boat. It even has the fin, the what do they call that fin
Yes,
underneath? Yeah.
it's seriously like they just grabbed a photo of one of those racing boats and just slapped it in. Yeah, righto. We'll just take that bit off there, put some thrusters on it.
Yeah, well,
You know,
consider
we'll
the
stick some
Shiv.
guns up there.
The Shiv doesn't have a whole lot of originality either, but it's a great concept. They took a Cuddy and a Valkyrie and some other stuff and mixed it together and made something original out of it. Kind of like, I mean, it is what it is. And that's what Twidget was asking about. What do we think about the new direction of ships from Gray Market?
You know,
And we need
when
to
Pyro
catch up on
first
our
came
Monty
out,
Python lore. What do you mean we need to catch
when
up on our Monty Python lore?
yeah, the question about the unload and swallow, it's from Monty Python. There's a clip.
Oh, okay. That's right. I remember now. That's funny.
But when Pyro first came, actually when Pyro was in the tech demo a couple of years back, 2 CitizenCons ago, I think it was. Or maybe more. 3. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, when Pyro was in the tech demo, and they had all the flares and everything turned on, and they had Xenothreat as a faction, and you could go and work for them, do these big fleet battles. When Pyro came out, they switched all that stuff off. But I always thought, wouldn't it be good, like if they had some abandoned ship manufacturers, and they put 2 ships together, and bastardized pieces of each ship for other ships, and that's kind of what they've done with Grey's ship, and it's a good start, I think. But I think they need to do more lore with it.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite ship, Ozzy? I went out on a limb here. What's your favorite
I've been thinking
ship?
about this a lot, man. I've been thinking about this a lot, and there's a lot of ships that I fly. But ultimately, I think it's got to come down to the C8R Pisces, mate. I think that's
Really?
my dead set favorite ship. Yep. Well, I don't have a real 890, but from the ships in my fleet, my Pisces, I probably use it the most.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
I used to use it a lot more because it was more OP, but now the time to kill in the Pisces is just. I used to use it for everything. We had a swarm of them one day, kill on hammerheads and all the stuff, man. And it was awesome fun. But it's just not. It's not a viable option, not for combat anymore.
Right.
But for everything else, it's definitely one of my favorite ships by far.
So it seems like small ships are what are the order of the day. I mean, because the Pisces and the Wolf, 2 of the smallest ships in the game. I'm saving up for an 890 jump, by the way, in game. I'm not going to buy one with money, but I'm saving up to get one. Can't wait. I'm almost there. I'm about 15 million away, I think. I'll get one someday.
You can't hear my music now, can you?
No. Can your audience hear your music?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, the silence gets to me, and then I phase away, mate. Okay.
That's fair. Well, we just got to keep talking. Let's see, what do we got here? Twidget's favorite is the C8R. C8R is a good little ship, says Wah the Wizard. They've been talking
Shiv
about the
says,
Stinger looking like a Romulan warbird or something like that. Romulan
I reckon it
fighter.
looks like horseshoe crab.
I think I like the look of the Vandal ship. I like all the ships they just released with 4.3.2. I like all of them. I just don't really feel the need to own any of them. I didn't try them out because I'm a subscriber. I didn't try them out when they showed up in my inventory either. I feel like I missed an opportunity. I did.
I've tried
Go ahead.
I've tried, I think I've tried most of the ships that are in game, flyable,
Mm-hmm.
that you can purchase in game, right, in my 3 years. There might be one or two of these new ships that I haven't really tried, but I would have flown them all at least once, and I think, were you playing when they brought out the Intrepid and everything? Oh no, that was last year's Con
No,
A.
no, not me.
That they had this period where they were bringing stuff out where it just seems like they just slapped stuff together and there was no real thought put into it,
Mm-hmm.
Because like the Intrepid, when it came out, if you're a long time player, you could walk around it and say, "Oh, that's from the C1," or "This is from that, this is from that,"
Mm.
And I don't know, when it first came out, I called it bits of this, bits of that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
But lately, the ship design, they've been bringing out multiple variants. There's a few. There's not many, like, original ships. They brought out more variants than this year than they brought out original ships, right? G'day, ethnification.
Greetings. Welcome in. Welcome in. Now, I was gonna say, the Paladin. I like the interior of the Paladin. I got the co-pilot one. Wasn't a big fan of it. When I was co-piloting in the Paladin, we were trying to take out these ships. And the pilot kept trying to turn on the ships and shoot them. But when he was doing that, I couldn't bear my guns down on the ships he was attacking in the front. And by the time they got to where I could shoot at them, they were whizzing by. So I'm here with these size 5 cannons, and I can't even hit anything. You know, so I didn't like that. You can't aim straight down the front of the ship with the Paladin's turret. If you're so tips on flying the Paladin. If you're flying the Paladin, you have a co-pilot in the gunner seat. Just don't try to shoot anything. Just maneuver to where the turrets can take, to where the turrets can shoot stuff, easily. So that's what I did when I was flying the Paladin. I just said, fuck it, I'm not trying to shoot a fucking thing. I'm just going to maneuver in such a way that my gunners can shoot stuff, because I feel like that's a failing of the Paladin. I feel like the turret, it shoots on the top, shoots on the bottom, front, back. It ought to be able to shoot directly out in front. I don't understand why you can't do that. I mean, you look at the Paladin, the daggum guns are facing forward. You would think that they'd be able to shoot what's right in front of you, but no. So, not the biggest fan of the Paladin. I like the way it looks. I like the Anvil ships, the Anvil aerospace ships. I like the Valkyrie and the Asgard, but not a big fan of the Paladin. I like the way it looks.
What brand of ship do you have most in your hangar?
Anvil Aerospace. I got the I've got the Super Hornet Mark II and the Asgard. I think that's the only one. Actually, no. I've got RSI. I've got the Zeus, but I'm not pledged to Zeus, and I got the Polaris, so I like RSI too. Twidget's fleet is all medical. Twidget's a big medical guy.
I think I got most Anvil.
I think Anvil has the coolest ships. I like the swept design of the Hornets wings with the curve underneath. You know, I just think it looks badass. I like the way the tail fins look. That's another honorable mention. When it comes to my favorite ships, I really like the Hornet. And you know, I just learned about the what is that one ship you keep seeing in the priority missions now? The Hercules. What is it? The big gun ship. It's not a big ship, but it's like a gun ship. Hey, Stick Man. 07, buddy.
Said the C2.
You like the C2?
Did you say the C2?
No, not the C2.
I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah. C2 was one of my first pledges. I've since melted it because I figured when 1.0 drops, I'm not going to need a big cargo ship because I won't have the rep yet. But now my starter cargo ship is the Asgard.
What do you think is the reason for the lack of development in medical intelligence, scientific, and other gameplay variations? Feels like besides selling ships, they have nothing else to monetize, although that's not the case.
Lack of development in medical. I don't know what the reason is, but it's real frustrating to me. Because on my stream, I do triage Thursdays, and there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do except, like, well, there's no medical beacons, so we'll just go run bunkers, you know?
I don't think it's one of their priorities at the moment. I really think their priority is to sell ships and get more people into the game. I think that's why they've got all these extra systems coming out with all this content, which is just all the same stuff rehashed. But you know, hopefully all this alien gameplay and stuff will be something new. But I think it's because it's not a priority, Turbo. Sort of thing.
Yeah,
I think they've got their priorities somewhere else at the moment.
You know, when it becomes a priority, they'll do it. And I'm hoping we'll see not just players calling in med beacons, but NPC med beacons. I think that would be good for medical gameplay. Just having an NPC needing, so like, you know, we have salvage missions, not salvage missions. Yeah, salvage missions where you go in down to a settlement in Pyro and repair their pipes or whatever. I've done those a little bit on salvage Saturdays. It's fun. It's a nice distraction. But if they did something like that for medical gameplay, at least there'd be something.
That would be cool, man. You know, if you went on a rescue mission to go and rescue an NPC, you know, maybe fly him to the station or something, you know.
Right. Maybe
Now,
something that requires you. Maybe something even that requires you to use that advanced portion of the med gun. You know, administering a certain dosage of a certain drug to relieve them, so that you can escort them to the, you know, get them ambulatory, so you can take them to the medical clinic. You know.
The only way you can do that at the moment, though, is with a med gun or with med pens, right? You can't pick someone up and put them on a bed and then use the terminal. The gameplay's switched off at the moment, you know? So even when they sold the Apollo, they, you know, it specifically showed them picking people up, putting them on the med bed, using the terminal, healing them, and you can't do that. It's not possible. You can't do it. Even, like
That's something Salty Mike was talking about, like with these upstart games. They put out a really cool video of what they want to be able to do in the game. And he's like, if we could just put out more of these videos, we can make more money, and then they don't have to develop anything, And that maybe that's like one of those instances where they just put out a really cool video, and people got the idea that this stuff is going to be in the game. And I think they need to. It's like a promise that they need to make good on. They need to do something with what they said they were going to do. Because you got all these people buying up medical ships. Come on, CIG. Where's the medical gameplay? Where is it? You can
Yep.
send up a med beacon, but there's no incentive to send up a med beacon. You're not going to lose anything. You're just if you backspace, you're just going to wake up in a med bed and lose what's in your backpack. Whoop-de-doo.
You lose some ammo.
Yeah, lose some ammo and some cruise looks, and I don't want to lose my shirt every time I die because it's a dangerous game. You go out, you don't know if every time you take off from a hangar, you don't know if you're going to make it back. I don't want to lose all my armor, but at the same time, I want there to be some medical gameplay for all these guys. Bring us what you promised, CIG.
Yeah, that'd be good. Righto. Twidget says all those are sitting waiting for crafting to come in. They're still working on the basic platform and getting the servers working well. They like to say things are better than ever, but the tech still doesn't properly support swapping inventory in and out of shards. Medical is going to suck until death of a spaceman. You know what I noticed the other day, Twidget, right? On a separate note, just for a second. In Levski, they had boxes of bionic parts, like legs and arms and hands and spines and stuff. So, and there was talk of death of a spaceman being, if you break your leg, you lose your leg, you got to replace it, So, are we going to become robots in the end? Is that a?
I want to be Darth Vader.
I just want a robot leg, man. Kick people with. That'd be mad.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Make melee attacks a little bit more exciting,
Well, yeah.
So about crafting, that we were talking about the reclaimer and the changes to the reclaimer and being able to refine construction material. It's all leading to crafting. Being able to use these new crafting machines they talked about at SitCon. They've been talking about for a while, and base building. So this new construction material thing, the way you're supposed to refine it, is leading to base building ultimately. I think they could have gone
Yes.
about
Well,
it a different
ultimately,
way. Go ahead.
it is all leading to base building. But then, we talk about all this crafting and everything, and already they're bringing in multiple quality parts. Like for argument's sake, AA pearls and AAA pearls, and then Karenite pure, and Karenite, and and if they're going to bring in different grades of construction material and stuff as well, and then different quality gems and all this stuff. I always thought that everything was supposed to be pretty much the same, but thanks, Twidget. Oh fuck! I lost what I was saying. Now what was I saying? Someone
I don't
remind me.
know. I don't know, but you know what? We're a couple of crusty old farts. We need some new limbs. I know I could use some new fucking limbs. Maybe Twidget can hook me up, get rid of my bum knee and shit. IRL.
Use a new shoulder.
Yeah.
G'day, RA463.
Hey, Raw. That's old Gopher. How you doing, Gopher? Morning. Is it morning there in the UK? I don't know.
It
Maybe
would be, yeah.
mid
Oh,
afternoon,
it'd be,
late
yeah, it'd be
morning,
like 11 o'clock or
late
something.
morning. Yeah.
Multiple types of the same materials. Yeah, see? And then so what you're gonna all these people are gonna be crafting guns and armors and stuff, and then you're gonna have double A quality and triple A quality, and because you had only had double A, but then you had triple A, this stuff is gonna create a one-off item, and that I don't know, man. It's why don't we just have +10 shield, with the legendary glow effect and everything, like why stop at triple A?
Right. They talk about the different types of construction material and like the patch notes and this and that. Like you got construction rubble and refined construction material. But you know what? When you go into the terminals, all it says is construction material. I don't know what kind of construction material I've got. Can I sell it or not? I don't know. You know, can I sell and this is something I haven't tried. Can you sell unrefined construction materials? I don't know. I haven't tried it. But I don't think you can.
Wouldn't you have to sell it wouldn't it be considered ore? Would it? This is
Yeah, you
this is
wouldn't get
science you got to
any.
do, mate.
Yeah, you wouldn't get anything for it. I'm just wondering. And can you use the unrefined? Are you going to be able to use the unrefined for crafting? That's a question that I have. Beautiful thing about doing this podcast, if I can do an aside real quick, is I'm hoping to kind of learn some stuff too. I'm hoping to teach people about this game, and I'm hoping to learn some stuff about the game because I've only been playing for 8 months. I'm learning stuff every day. Player-owned
Well,
refineries.
and this is another thing that you know, um, the description of ships when they're sold, right? The reclaimer has an onboard refinery,
Right.
right? It's supposed to refine everything as it comes through. So now, it's like that. Oh, I don't want to be negative, mate. All
Oh,
right,
go
but
ahead.
it's
Be negative. Let's tell it like it is.
yeah, here buy this, but we're gonna change it whenever
Yeah.
the fuck we want to. You know?
Yeah, and they should change the descriptions when they do that too. And I don't know. And you're right. I bought this ship thinking that it had an onboard refinery. What the fuck? You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. And now it's 3 times more work than it ever was just to
Yeah.
go salvaging. Like you spend that money on your reclaimer, like it's not cheap, you
Right.
know. That would be most people's 5 years in a game, non-stop every day, buying a reclaimer. But not Star Citizen. That's just one ship, mate.
Yeah. Org
You
based
can sell it at the raw
refineries.
or commodity.
Uh, Gopher
Can sell
points
it as
out,
ore.
Gopher points out that everything is subject to change. Who knows? Maybe they just haven't got the tech for onboard refining yet.
Yeah, but
Possibly.
when that I just see that as an excuse, mate. Like we've been waiting for the tech for the tools so they can build the tools for the tools that they need tools for tools. I'm like, I don't know, maybe next time, Chin Shield, we should compile a video. All right.
Yeah.
specifically from the mouth of Chris Roberts or someone. Yeah. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, Ra. And I love this game. Don't get me wrong, mate.
Yeah,
But
I'm a fanboy. I'm a Star Citizen fanboy all the way, man. I want to see them make good on promises, you know. They told us it was going to
that's
have
like
an onboard refinery, you know.
all the
so-
ships they bring out, they nerf. You know, the Redeemer, they took the big guns off it. You know, the Corsair, they nerfed the shit out of that. You know, what? Plenty of other ships, but Thunder Fury.
You know,
I hate the silent, awkward pauses, mate.
it's all
It does my
good.
head in.
I just tell you, I just want to, you know, let me tell you about my mission. I want to raise awareness for this game. I want to get people playing this game. You know, the more the merrier. The more people play this game, the
Yep.
more fun we can all have, and the more we can test the system. You know, so that's one of my big goals. Is I want to bring people in through my stream, through this podcast. I want them to be able to do a search for Star Citizen, see my happy face playing the game, and guys like Ozzy playing the game, and say, you know what, this is a cool game. I want to play it too. You know, that's my mission. You know, to raise awareness for the game and to have fun doing it, and to show people how to play the game and what I do when, and you know, my favorite game loops and stuff. But sometimes it's difficult when the gameplay isn't, like when they take stuff out of the game that, you know, it makes it hard on me. Wham wham, right? Too bad. It makes it hard on me to do what I do, and showcase this awesome game, you know.
I'm getting some noise come from somewhere. I don't know what it.
Oh, that was me talking.
No. Some other noise.
Interesting. Twitch says, so again, a lot of this stuff is behind because CIG hasn't been able to get the performance and speed out of their databases. The verse servers are actually pretty decent even now with 600 player limit, but the database concurrency and connectivity is freaking atrocious.
Okay, here's something that I've noticed recently. All right, now me and all my mates, we're always picking low pop servers, right? Because if you're on a low pop server and you're streaming, there's less chances someone's going to harass you, right? And I've been harassed a lot in my streaming career. So, my Star Citizen fucking Twitch hobby, right? Anyway, I noticed one thing, that me and all my mates, whenever we're on low pop servers, all the NPCs, the AI is on the ball. You know, if you go up against a hammerhead, you and everyone's dead in 3 seconds. You know, but then, for argument's sake, I was watching someone playing on a full server the other day, and they were in a Gladius, and they were up against a Redeemer, a Connie, and a Caterpillar or something, and they wiped the floor with them, man. These ships didn't even shoot back, right? So, and that's the difference between a high pop server and a low pop server. The low pop server, the AI works, and it's sort of skill based, right? You know, you got to be good. You got to know what you're doing. You got to pump your power. You got to get out of there when your shield's down. You know, you got to rotate out of the path of the fucking projectiles, whatever. And forgot what I was saying.
Low pop servers.
Yeah, and just it's a drastic difference, man. It goes from being a very, very active AI to being AI that just sits there and does nothing. So you smash them up beside the head, and it's like, you know, what's going on? Is there something here? You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. You have to be more skilled in a low pop server. And I guess the high pop
Yeah,
servers, from what you're saying, they kind of bogs everything down and the AI doesn't
and
react the way it should.
they do not work the same at all. Like, and I've been thinking just to grind stuff out, why don't I just go to a high player server? You know, because it's easy. I can do in my Gladius on a high pop server what it takes me to do in my Connie on a low pop server. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We have a.
So,
Go ahead.
so I don't know. There's a drastic difference between a full server and a low pop server, and the difference is dramatic. It's a dramatic difference. It's everything's in the future with this game, Twidget.
Yeah, that's true. And about the server meshing, Jim posted a YouTube video where he has Chris Roberts saying over and over again, server meshing has been working almost flawlessly for the past year. And this is Chris Roberts saying this over and over again. He's got this soundbite of Chris Roberts saying, server meshing has been working flawlessly over the last year. Has it? Has it, Chris? When there's so much
Yeah.
desync and,
How many times have you crossed server boundaries and it's dropped you out of QT?
right. Or you find out you don't have any fuel and you're stuck in the middle of space,
You know, Twitcher, I was playing when they brought out the persistence entity streaming. Now, I was hanging with this other org, right? I'm not gonna promote them, but anyway, we were part of the biggest meetup of 890 jumps in the history of Star Citizen, right? And we had something like 94 890 jumps in the one spot, and then we bombed the fuck out of it, right? We crashed the server, I don't know, 10 times trying to get into it. We had to drop our party down to 72 people or something to get into the server and then add. We paid for 120 890 jumps with our UEC, right? And then CIG used our event to promote their persistence entity streaming, right? So I don't know what point I'm trying to make is, but yeah, all the tech works, but it's got to be a cohesive mesh, and at the moment everything they're bringing in breaks something and then something else breaks, and and then they put a band-aid on it and then something else breaks, and I want a game that works. I want Star Citizen, like this could be an amazing game, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think
I
it
don't know
is an
why. I
amazing
don't know why
game.
it isn't there yet.
I think it is an amazing
It is. There's
game.
nothing else
It
that really
really
does
is.
anything on the scale that this does. But
When it works, it's truly amazing. But like with everything that's going on, talk about putting stuff in the game and taking it out and then it breaks or whatever. For first person shooter yesterday on my stream for FPS Friday, we did Hathor. Not one single battery and not one single alignment
I was
blade.
watching you do that, man.
Yeah, not one
I was
single
watching you.
alignment blade. Not no alignment blades even. And there was some NPCs, but nowhere near on the scale as it was before. It was kind of like in 4.3.1 when the CZs were just completely empty of NPCs,
So you weren't playing last year's sitcom when Pyro came out?
No, I wasn't playing
It was
with
at
I
I.
think I think I started playing right after Pyro came out.
You're right. So you've never experienced a wipe then?
No, not a big wipe, no.
See, we used to get wipes all the time, man, and everyone would lose you'd lose everything, yeah, all your ships, all your money, all your rep, you know. And it used to be a every patch thing, and then they stopped it. But I got used to losing stuff. But and now with all the tech and in the PTU, I've got an 890 jump that I've had since like 319 PTU. All right.
Yeah.
Now, but I've had to replace my 890 jump in PU 4 times since 4.0 came out.
Mm.
Right? Now that's 260 million that I'm never going to back. I sort of stopped trying to get an 890 jump back just for the sheer reason that I'll lose it.
Right.
Right? But I have no confidence in keeping everything over patches, mate. I done the ICT missions with Wicklow.
Yeah.
And they disappeared from my hangars, and because I left two in my mate's hangar. As the patch rolled over, they went into his hangar list and disappeared from mine.
Mm.
Right? So he acquired the Wicklow ICTs that I'd done the contract for.
Yeah.
In his ship list. I'd like to know how that works.
Well, yeah, I've never experienced a wipe, fortunately.
Mate, I'm just going to disable my camera for a quick minute while I have a smoke. All right.
Okay. I'll keep everyone entertained.
I'm still here, just my camera's switched off for a minute.
Oh, okay. You hiding the fact that you smoke from somebody?
Oh, no, I just don't like to advertise it, mate. You know how it is.
Yeah. My wife would jump my ass if she saw me vaping in here. She's got asthma. She doesn't like me vaping in the house. Anyway, yeah, luckily I haven't experienced a wipe. I've been fortunate so far. I think there was some limited wipes when I first came on board. I'm always amazed every time when I come back into a patch and I've still got all my components and I just put my components back on my ships,
Yeah, well, we used to lose all our components,
Yeah. Then you have to go and buy them all again or scrounge for them at the CZs or wherever.
You used to just be able to buy anything, man. Right? It's only like this year that since the CZs have been out, they came out with Pyro, right? So yeah, it's been about a year now. I think Pyro's been about a year. A year?
Yeah, about a year, from what I understand. Yeah, I think it didn't come out in like December of 2024.
Oh, it was about this time last year, wasn't it? Like
I don't know.
around, I think it was at IAE that
Okay.
was it at IAE that it came out, and
So
just after SitCon, because I think
under a year.
Yeah, just about on a year.
Yeah, you used to be able to go and buy a railgun. Now you have to. You can't even buy railgun ammo now. You have to scrounge for that too. Got to take care of my nicotine habit. I got a bad nicotine habit.
So do I.
Yeah.
I smoke this tobacco called White Ox, right? It's a superior blend of dark tobacco.
Yeah,
right?
That sounds good. Sounds nice.
Yeah, it is, man. I smoked the same stuff for 30 odd years, you know. So
Yeah.
and it's really expensive in Australia, man. It is like $110 for 30 grams. So 1 ounce of tobacco, right, is $110.
Whoa. That's crazy. That's some expensive tobacco. You're smoking the good shit.
But that's just Australian prices, mate. But White Ox is the most expensive tobacco you can buy in Australia at the moment.
Yeah. So what do you think about all the hype about No Man's Sky? About it, I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos as I'm scrolling through TikTok, and I see a lot of side by side comparisons between No Man's Sky and Star Citizen. And I'm gonna tell you, No Man's Sky looks pretty good. From what I can tell, I think, and I don't want to say it looks better than Star Citizen because I'm kind of biased, but it looks pretty good. And I will say that the big thing that turned me off initially to No Man's Sky, I just can't get around the fact that it looks all cartoony and everything, but it doesn't look as cartoony as it used to.
Before I ever found Star Citizen, I played No Man's Sky, and I clocked it, you know, and I had the seed ship and all the stuff, you know, and it was pretty cool, but it left you wanting, man. You know, it was everything was rinse and repeat.
Really?
You know, and I haven't played the new patch, but then I found Star Citizen and I played it and I played it and I played it, and there was one time when Star Citizen was having a bad run, right, and everything was not working, and I actually went back to No Man's Sky, man, and it just seems like a kiddies game, like a
Right,
children's game,
right.
you know, and that's how I see it now, and I've got no interest in playing a children's game, but good on it for doing what it's doing. You know, you can walk around your ship now and whatnot, but it's not Star Citizen.
No. I tell you what I've always looked for in a space simulator. And I started back in the old days, back in the fucking 80s with the original Elite. That was all wireframe graphics and stuff. I just want realism, you know? And of course,
Yep.
with the wireframe graphics of Elite back in the 80s, that was as close as you could fucking get, at least with the Commodore 64, right? And which is what I had. And I just wanted the feel of being in a cockpit, flying my ship, and then later on, I got, when I got out of the military 11 years ago, I just wanted, I got a little bit of nostalgia, and I did a search for Elite, thinking maybe I could get uh, what do you call it, an emulator that would play the original Elite on my MacBook, which is what I had at the time. Admittedly, I have a fucking MacBook. But anyway, that's when I discovered Elite Dangerous. And it just brought a whole new sense of realism. The textures, everything on the ship looked realistic to me. And I played that for a long time. And then I fell in love with the background simulation, how everything you do affects everyone else in the universe, but, or in the galaxy. Just a whole nother level of realism. And then I discovered Star Citizen. And I mean, it just feels real to me. And, we talk about not having mission givers, and we've talked about how they've nerfed some of the gameplay and stuff. It's still the best thing out there to me, especially like when you're flying into a planet and you're flying through the fucking clouds and you've got condensation on the windows, and then it starts raining, and then you come out of the rain and you see the sunset underneath the clouds. Just so much realism there. It's just amazing what they've done so far in this game that keeps me coming back, and every single day. and to play this game. And I don't know what point I was trying to make, but it's just I want realism. I want real
Yeah, an
gameplay.
immersion.
Exactly.
The
And I
flying
get
through the
that.
clouds, man. That's spectacular.
I get that with
You know,
Star
I've taken
Citizen. When
so
you
many screenshots lately.
Yeah, like when you land in Elite Dangerous, you just kind of line your ship up and plop that fucker down. Well, if you do that in Star Citizen, you're gonna blow your shit. You're gonna lose your shirt. You've got to set it down just right, and you can set it down anywhere in the hangar. It doesn't have to be right over the one spot like it does in Elite Dangerous. You can set it down anywhere. You don't have to spend fucking 10 minutes trying to find the perfect spot to land on a planet like you do in Elite Dangerous. You just look at it, I can land here, and you set the ship down. Easy, but hard. Jen Jobin's checking in mid-shift, looking forward to watching the replay of this. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm kind
I
of
hope you enjoy
keen
it.
to watch it as well.
Yeah, I might
I
watch it
think
as well
I think
too.
I'll watch it back and
Critique
learn something
myself.
from it.
You know what we need? We need for our next stream. We need an agenda. We need like talking points. Here's what we're gonna talk about this
Yes,
week. Yeah,
yeah, 100%. This is just like the first. Let's get it done. Let's roll it
yeah.
out. Let's
Let's
see
just
how we
see how
go.
this goes. Yeah,
Yeah, let's
I'm
fucking
having a
let's
good
click
time.
some shit. See if it sticks.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a real good time.
Yeah, man, this is good. This is good. It's something different, and something different is always good.
Because
There's-
I mean, the thing is y'all are
I
watching a
play a lot of Star
podcast.
Citizen.
Yeah, y'all are watching
I
a
play a lot of Star
podcast.
Citizen.
Go ahead, man.
Sorry,
We
man.
got
We
a
keep
little bit of a
talking over each
delay.
other.
Well, you're in Australia. I'm in Texas. So, it is what it is.
Well, okay. Let's get back to the chat, man. Stickman said, I always figure SC is more of a simulator than just your average video game. Well, that's what it's supposed to be, but it's
Yeah.
turned into I don't know, like battle royale, man. Loot and battle royale. That's what it kind of is now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a cargo. If you like cargo and salvage, it's not so much of a battle royale unless you want to get a specific ship and you've got to do Wicklow or the tested zones or something, right? But then that doesn't lead to a cargo or a salvage gameplay loop. Those things,
Yeah.
But there used to be more immersion than there is now too. Everything. Yeah, it's turned into a battle royale.
Yeah, a lot of PvP shooter stuff, which is fun. But here's the great thing about Star Citizen, right? If you get tired of one game loop, there's a dozen other game loops you could be doing. When you go into the CZs and you're just done getting your ass waxed by all the PvPers in there, you can go hop in your cargo ship and run some cargo, or you can jump in and do some mining, or when you when you get tired of mining, you can go do some space combat, get in your fighter and go do some bounty missions or something. You can do all of that in this game.
I've just got to give John Ward the finger. All
right. Need help? There you go, John Ward. You like cargo all the time?
I thought you'd like that, Frenchie.
John Ward is Frenchie, the infamous Frenchie.
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I love the immersion in this game. There's just so much to do. They've done stuff that no other MMO has ever even conceived of before, and they do it well. Considering They're
Oh,
they're
here,
limiting with constrained technology. That some of the technology isn't quite there yet.
see, and back to what we were just saying before about the PvP shooter gameplay.
Yeah,
The Stickman saying he thinks they're doing it for the sale. Well, I think they're also doing it to bring it in, like the COD crowd,
yeah,
because I think they're also bringing in players. But everything's about sales. Everything is always about sales in Star Citizen. All the big events are sales events. That's what it's all about. It's about getting your CCU or your ship or the stuff that you want. The stuff you've been looking for all year, waiting for that sales event. That's the event that people crave in Star Citizen. It's the sales. And I don't know, that's how I don't know what my point is. Like, this is my game and I'm sick of all the smoke and mirrors, and it's good to see that they are actually sort of doing something, but you know, ultimately and first mostly, I'm a solo player, man. Like I do stuff solo, you know. But they're driving all the solo players away from the game. All the whales that have spent so much money. If they can't go out and just have fun in their $2,000 ship, then
I tell you what, I like the multiplayer gameplay in this game.
it makes this game excel, man.
Yeah,
But ultimately there are a lot of people out there that are just solo players and they don't have friends and they just play this by themselves, and that's their
yeah.
crack, that's you know.
I came into the game through an org. So when I started playing, it was almost exclusively multiplayer. I did a lot of solo play right from the beginning, but it was almost exclusively multiplayer that got me into this game. But I find that now that I stream, most of my gameplay is solo. I stream for 4 or 5 hours every morning while everyone's either at work or in bed. And so there's not usually a lot of people on when I'm streaming. Every now and then I'll get someone who jumps into my stream and starts helping me do stuff, and that's a lot of fun. But you know, the thing I strive for is to find more multiplayer gameplay. And unfortunately, if I want to do that, then I got to jump back on at night when everyone gets off work and play, and so because that's when everyone's on doing the cargo runs or whatever, or Trauma Tuesday, or the different things that we do in Northfield, the org I'm in. But
Yep.
um, yeah, I struggle with finding multiplayer gameplay. I wish there were more people on in the morning here in my part of the world, because during the time I stream, the folks in your part of the world are going to bed, and the people in my part of the world are just waking up. So
Wah says they're bringing out 6 new ships. You've seen the news about that, right?
yeah,
We'll just put that on pause for a minute. And then Angry Viking Thor, who I should just give a shout out while I'm going.
yeah.
Um, are trying to future-proof the company by creating the tools and tech for other games as well as the Star Citizen. Yeah, well,
I can
they
see
also
that.
have don't they have the best mocap studio in the world? Doesn't CIG own the best motion capture studio in the world for this kind of thing? What? Oh, that's what the noise is.
What is it?
My shout out. Just shout out to
Oh,
it playing
okay.
in the background on my thing. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was hearing before. I said I'm hearing some noise. That's what it was. So they need more and more sales to make that happen. Yeah, but all we are is sales. But lately, it's yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for dropping in and saying g'day and putting in your 2 cents. That's what we need here.
Hell
More two
yeah.
senses.
Yeah. Give us your money. Give us your 2 cents.
They don't have 2 cent pieces in Australia anymore.
Yeah, we got 1 cent
Like
pieces
it,
here in America. No one
if
uses
you've
them
got old
anymore.
ones, they're still legal tender, but they don't make them. They don't print them anymore.
It costs more money to make a 1 cent penny in America than they're worth. That's pretty bad, right?
Is 1 cent? Is 1 cent a penny? Is it? Is a penny 1 cent?
Yeah, a penny is 1 cent, and it costs more to make a penny than it's even worse. I don't know how much it costs to make, but it's more than 1 cent. That's pretty bad.
Rightio. There's another question in the questions tab. Caius Casati says, I think in-game racing is pretty neat. Where does the Brains Trust think? I'm guessing that CIG will take racing within the PU and what that would look like. Yeah, and there's a lot of racing going on, man. Kirk
Yeah, we got
in
the
my chat
Daymar
wants us to
Rally coming
fucking...
up.
Yeah, they want me to hook up a team for that. I thought about it last year, but isn't it it's a 12-hour race, isn't
That's
it?
crazy.
500 kilometers or something?
Yeah. I don't
500
even
kilometer
know.
race.
I don't even know. I see this stuff about the Daymar Rally coming up through the Northfield server, and I'm just oblivious. I am in awe though of the logistics that must be taken to put on that kind of an event. 300 miles, 300
Yeah, but
miles
it's
or 300
500.
kilometers.
I think it's 500. I think, yeah, 300 miles or 500 kilometers or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like 8 hours minimum, and that's if you're gunning it and you know the track, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, you got to have a driver swap, and
Mm-hmm.
then you got to have a support team and
Yeah.
all the stuff.
A lot of logistics.
But I think the way of racing in the future with Star Citizen, I think Anzia Racing has got it down to a pretty fine art, man. Have you have you heard of them?
I have not. This is my first time hearing of Anzia Racing.
It's run by an Aussie chick. Echo Bit. She also streamed. I'll just you might hear noises in the background when I shout out, but I think Echo Bit runs Anzia Racing.
Okay.
And then if I get up, yeah, they run the Trucks Cup. I was going to enter it one year, but then I can't talk about it on stream.
Oh.
But I will drop Anzia Racing link. I'm hearing noises. Yep.
Yeah, I hear it too. There you go. Anzia Racing. Let's
Yeah,
take a
but go
look at
check them
this.
out. They do a lot of pretty awesome events. But racing's hectic, man. You got to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and then practice some more. And then if you don't practice for 2 days, you forget it all. The muscle memory's gone, and then you got to
Right.
practice and practice and practice and practice.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah, you're not lying. I suck at racing games. That's why I don't take part in the racing in Star Citizen. Because first thing out the gate, the first thing I would do is hit a fucking wall or something and blow my ship up, and I'd be done. There you go. Yeah, jinx, Kirkev.
Yeah,
Jinx. It's
that's
exactly what
it,
would
mate.
happen with me.
But you know, you've
I'm
got to
amazed
crash
at the
more to
skill.
crash less.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the skill of these guys that can pull this stuff off. We had a race that Northfield hosted last month, I think, and I was watching these guys race, and I was just like, not for me, man, not for me. I couldn't do it. Much less be able to make the right turns. You know, you got to go on, you got to follow the route. I'd get turned around in a second and not know which way I'm going. You know, as a matter of fact, I go into Arena Commander and do the racing. I start out going the right way, and within 3 seconds, it's saying I'm going the wrong fucking way. It's like, what the fuck? I don't get it. It's just not for me.
You got to follow the arrows, mate. All right.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
But sometimes that you got to roll left and then look 180 degrees behind you. And,
Yeah, maybe
you
now
know,
that I've got the Tobii eye tracker now, so maybe if I turn my head this way or that way, maybe that'll help some with the racing. I might go back in
we
and
should
try.
jump in arena. We should jump in Arena Commander one day, mate.
Yeah, we could do that.
You know, or even come low flying with us one day and learn the art of the low fly, right? And that's like the basis. That's the start. You know, if you can learn
Gotta
to low fly, then you'll get into racing.
gotta use the
And
strategy of get good. See, that's the thing. I don't have the patience to get good at this stuff, you know.
do
I
you use
just want to
sticks
jump in
or
my
mouse and
wolf and
keyboard?
go shoot shit, you know. Huh?
Do you use sticks or mouse and keyboard?
I use sticks. I have some VKB gladiators.
Cool. They're pretty good, eh? I broke
Yeah.
my first spring the other day for the first time in 3 years.
Oh, really?
So yeah, but I quickly replaced it. It was pretty easy replacement, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It was,
That makes me nervous thinking I might break a string one day. A spring. What did I say?
yeah.
String?
It took 3 years, but man, 3 years of heavy usage. You know,
Yeah.
that's if I was a salesman for VKB, that you know,
You could sell them. People like me will buy them.
I reckon I could. Yeah, there's probably a few people out there that have VKBs now that never had VKBs because I said, "Oh, get some VKBs."
Yeah.
You know,
Hostess and 40 spare springs. I probably need to get some spare springs now that y'all are talking about springs. That makes me nervous.
VKB should come with spare parts, man. They should come like with several springs for each different. They should have 3 different level of spring.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as default, it should have the middle one set.
Yeah. Wow, so we've killed an hour and a half already on this podcast. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're getting there, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we didn't have a script. We didn't even have a script
No,
going into
no.
this. It's pretty fucking good. Do you
Yeah, we
want to
just
talk
thought we'd
about the new
jump in
ships
and see
coming
how we
out?
go.
Yeah. You want to talk about the new
Yeah.
ships coming out? What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, we could do that. I don't know. I want to see what this Clipper looks like.
Yeah, they haven't really shown us a good picture of it yet, have they?
No. Wait. Wait. I'll get up. I'll get up a thing, and then we'll. Um. hmm. Let me look for a minute.
Looking for pictures of the Clipper. All I see is one on Reddit. Doesn't really show anything. Concept drawing.
Think you think I would have had all this stuff queued up already, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think. Here, I got something. Maybe. Oh, it's not letting me share my screen.
No, just link it to me.
Here, let me
Is it-
drop that. Let me drop this in the chat. That way everyone can see it. Drake Clipper.
Okay,
Looks-
just wait a second. Wait a second. I'll do the thing. Um,
This picture is from 6 days ago. Don't know if that's legit or not. I think it looks kind of like the Corsair with a different wing configuration, maybe a little shorter. And I know the guys on Info Runner were speculating that it was going to be like a data running ship, like the MSR or the Herald. And then I bounced that idea off of some of the guys in my chat in my stream, and they said, well, but we've already got info runners. So, but if they're bringing out another info running ship, like a data running ship, maybe that's coming soon. And not only that, but in the
Am I am I
priority
sharing the
missions
thing?
now. Yeah, that's it. In the priority missions now, you've got the data pads that you have to haul back to the station, so maybe that's the cusp of this data running thing. Oh, hi, Super Clopez. Super Clopez. Don't forget our
Super
basic
Clopez.
manners. Super Clopez. Don't forget the basic manners. I suck at all these online names. They come into my stream and it'll be one name and I'll say something completely different and it won't make sense. It is what it is.
Clipper on my screen. Am I still sharing?
Yeah, it's showing up on my OBS. I can see it. That might be what it ends up looking like. Who knows?
There's more pictures somewhere. Just let me stop this for a second, right? I'll just find something.
Oh, excuse me. It's early here. It's like I gotta tell you, it's 4:40 in the morning here. You know that? I need to drink more coffee.
Did you
next
see
time.
this?
What are you trying to say?
The I'm just looking for it. There's a photo somewhere of the Aurora. and it's sitting inside the ironclad. Have you seen that photo?
No. Morning, Mustache Mike. How are you doing this morning? Good to see you, my man.
G'day, Mike. Frenchie did his biggest sale ever in game tonight. How big, Frenchie?
Hey, thanks, Super Lopez. Appreciate you coming in.
Five pearl, 20 mil. That's 100 mil, Frenchie. Just wait. I got a Frenchie button. I'm gonna have to just press it. Just
Yeah, go for it.
100 mil. 100 mil. You deserve this, Frenchie. All right. This is just for you, mate. All right. Where is it? There you go, mate. Rightio. So there's a picture. There's a picture of the Aurora somewhere, and it's in the hangar of an ironclad.
Let me see if I can find it.
Know the picture I'm talking about?
No. All I'm pulling up is pictures of the ironclad.
Why do you know the picture I'm talking about?
You think the ironclad's coming with IAE?
I don't know. But there's going to be a couple of unannounced stuff.
Wash says he saw a picture with a vulture in it, in the ironclad.
I know there's just wait. There's leaks, man. Let me find them. We'll watch a video or something. All right, just give me a minute. And then then I can turn my camera for a minute and have a smoke while we're watching a video. I think I'm gonna.
Camera got all fuzzy. From what they say, the ironclad is a ways out. Oh, we're gonna get your hopes up, Raw. AKA Gopher. Sometimes when I duck down like this, my camera gets see there. Now it's back. Now it's good. I got a little mini fridge underneath my desk. I got to reach down there to grab my sodas. My wife was taking really good care of me for my birthday. Got me a little mini fridge, sending me mixed signals. Don't play video games so much. And then she buys me something that makes it easier so I don't have to go all the way to the refrigerator. I don't get it.
I can't find what I'm thinking of. Right, but here's something. I'll put this up. Just give me a second. I'll get the bloody and the bloody. I need to press that. Press that button. Right, I'll stop my music for this. And then what's so many things up, man? It's stupid.
I know. What are we doing here?
Select. I've got a million tabs. Just wait. This one. Sound. Share. Am I sharing?
Yes. Yeah, let her
Okay,
rip.
let's wait.
Is that
I've
that
got to turn it on mine.
is that the ironclad?
Right, and then I can just hide me for a minute. No, this is not the ironclad. This is something else. This is.
Welcome to Red's Resort. Today
Let's
we're
watch
going to
this.
be looking at the Anvil Liberator. Since it was just announced that it's going into production, I thought we'd go over
Just
some of the specs
one sec before I
and
start.
see what we all
I'll just link this into the chat. Fuck, I've got so many things going on. Give
We
me
need
one
to get
second.
organized. You know that? We need to get organized.
Everyone can see what I'm doing now. But, yep, okay. Rightio, did I fucking put that in the chat?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Okay, rightio.
already know about this monster of a ship.
Let's
I'd
watch
like
it.
to say a big thank you to all you guys who watch and subscribe, and the members as well. Anybody who's helped me or encouraged me in any way to just keep picking at this thread. You have my eternal thanks. Okay, let's get down to business. Because
Wait,
this
give me
thing
one
is
second.
a beast. The Liberator.
Just give me 1 second.
Hey, Chrissy.
I've got too much shit going.
The
I've got too
Anvil
much shit going on.
Liberator. How you doing this morning, Chrissy? Good to see you. Chrissy's a member of
Let's turn that.
she's a member of Foxy Loxy's org. She's also a musician.
Oh yeah, is it?
I think I've got
Okay,
the
got too much shit going on. Righto, I'll turn my cam off for a minute so I can watch this video. I'll just put it back up. Sorry. Okay, we're back? Yep. Right, let's watch this.
As a light transport ship. Alright guys, welcome to Red's Resort. Today we're going to be looking at the Anvil Liberator. Since it was just announced that it's going into production, I thought we'd go over some of the specs and see what we already know about this monster of a ship. I'd like to say a big thank you to all you guys who watch and subscribe, and the members as well. Anybody who's helped me or encouraged me in any way to just keep picking at this thread. You have my eternal thanks. Okay, let's get down to business. Because this thing is a beast. The Liberator is a light transport ship manufactured by Anvil Aerospace, specialising
repair,
in
refuel,
open air
restock
vehicle
ship.
transport. It has 3 landing pads along its top surface and a very expansive vehicle garage underneath. So roughly that means 3 small ships, 3 extra small ships, and 2 reasonable sized vehicles. And I know we're going to take the utter mince out of that, but that's roughly what it's supposed to be able to carry. Now, it's not a true carrier because it will lack the repair, refueling and rearming facilities. But maybe with a little persuasion, we can get CIG to change their mind about that. Probably not, but it's good to dream. And, you know, when they're trying to sell a ship, when it first launches, there's usually a little give to get more of these things out the door. If I was to predict where that give would be, it would be there. So along that top pad, like I say, it's extra small ships. So that's things like an Aegis Sabre, an Anvil Hornet, you most likely get a Prospector on there as well. And in the internal garage, you'd be looking at things like the Tumbril Nova, so a full-size tank, and a Ballista. And probably some small ships as well, like the MPUV, the Origin 85X, things like that.
Sorry, I'm pausing it. I noticed you can fit a tonk in there. You see that? And that's a blister in front of it,
Yeah.
right?
I learned a new word today.
Okay.
Tonk.
Yeah?
I know what a tonk is now.
Right, I'll continue.
The specs that we've got for this thing seem very outdated. And as we know, production's just started, so that's most likely to just be a lot of ideas getting knocked around.
Put a
But
lot
at
of
the last
tonks
check,
in there.
There was a size 3 power plant, 2 size 3 coolers, and 2 size 3 shields. That might change quite significantly. When it first launched at concept, there was the default version, but there was also the Condor version, which came with this white and red skin. Obviously you can't get that paint anymore through official means, but unofficially it's about $50, and it does look quite the part, I must say. The loaners for the Liberator are an M2 Hercules Starlifter and a Super Hornet Mark I, which, I mean, probably needs updated a little bit, but it's not to be sniffed at. For propulsion, it's got a size 3 quantum drive, a size 3 jump module, 2 size 3 fuel intakes, 2 size 3 fuel tanks, and 2 size 3 quantum fuel tanks. The dimensions at the last check were 67 meters wide.
Do you got that
190
coming through
meters
your
long and
speakers?
25 meters high. But obviously that will, in all likelihood,
Can you
change
hear
a
it?
little bit, at
Yeah,
least.
it's coming through your
Weaponry,
speakers,
it
I
doesn't
think.
have a lot of teeth, to be
That's
honest.
better.
But it's not defenseless. It has one man turret with 2 size 5
That better?
laser repeaters.
Yeah.
And what appears to be a remote turret with 2 size 2 ballistic gatlings. I would fully expect them to stick a few PDCs on this thing as well. But you never really know, and what it lacks in weaponry will be made up for with quite a heavy armour loadout. Taking a look inside, we can see underneath the vehicle bay we have this large circular engine room, and this seems to house all the components for the ship, set off to the side from a walkway that encircles the gravity generator. As you can see, overall there isn't a lot of physical interior space. This has all been crammed in the underbelly of the ship and in the 2 arms that flank either side of the landing pads. We have an elevator on this side that will give you access to the cargo bay and the landing pads. There's also surface access down here, which looks like it'll be a separate elevator that goes down to the ground. Coming along this central corridor, we have access to the vehicle bay. Through here we have a bunch of storage lockers and some suit lockers as well, 8 of each currently. Just beyond that we have 16 jump seats. Coming up the elevator 1 floor, we have another storage room with 6 suit lockers. And
Jump
also
seats for the
landing
pilots, I
access.
assume.
This area also looks like it contains some basic amenities like bathrooms and a place to sit and eat, and also landing pad access.
When are we going to use the
If we come
bathroom
back
in
over
this
here,
game?
Take this lift and come out this door here. we'd
That's
be
a level of
in this
realism
You
I
know, they've
need.
always
Currently,
promised. They've always promised that
Yeah.
we could take a shit one day.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we're drinking all this fucking cruise lux. We got to have something to do with it.
But I want the suit locker to work.
Yeah, I
mate,
want a
as well.
meter that shows how full my bladder
The
is.
Liberator can hold 400.
And when it gets too full, it just pops and you pee on yourself. That's what we need in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
100 SCU of cargo, and it looks like some of that will be assigned down either side of the vehicle bay. If we go back out this door and come up the elevator to the top level, we have the man turret access. We have the life support module in the next room and landing pad access. In the next section there's another 4 storage lockers and a couple of suit lockers and 2 beds, which are, as far as I can tell, the only 2 beds on the ship. In an ideal world, personally I would like to see this jump room become modular and either have a few racks of crew beds or a med bay. Moving forward again,
Speaking of
we are
which,
now
stop
in
it for a
red.
second. You know,
Pilot seat up
I
front,
just got rid of my
co-pilot
fucking
seat
RV. And you
Yeah.
know, it reminds me, you know, so if we're peeing and pooping in all these ships, someone's got to empty the fucking black tanks. Where do we do that at? You know, I'm just saying. Okay.
They're prob-
Just had to throw that in
well,
there.
once that comes into being, there will probably be, you know, some empty spot. I think maybe you can sell it as fertilizer somewhere.
Yeah, right. Or do we just dump it out into space and shit for someone to fly into later? I don't know, you know.
Yeah, maybe. Just run into a frozen lump of shit, yeah.
What's the difference between a regular
Right.
RV and a fucking RV? There is no difference. They'll make you refine the shit
Did-
first. And see, now we got the chat going. We need more of that. Does it have a bigger
Yeah.
bed? No, a regular RV has the same size bed as a fucking RV. They're all fucking RVs. I hate
Isn't
them. I hate them. I'm so glad to get rid of that thing. It was like a big weight was lifted off my back. It's like it's worse than owning a boat.
I used to own a boat.
Huh? You used to own a boat? I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah,
So
nah. I
sorry.
sold it. That thing was just a money sink, mate. It was a
Yeah,
money
just like my
hole. It was a
RV.
hole.
It cost us,
Passed out another 1,000, then another 1,000, then another 1,000.
if we hadn't had that RV, you know how many ships I could have bought in this game? We're talking $900 a month to own this damn thing, and that's for just to sit on the fucking storage lot. You know what I mean? $900 a month. Could you imagine? I could have bought 20 Polarises. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I don't have anything to show for it. I got
What
the
do you think
joke,
about
Reed.
this repair?
I got the
Rearm
joke.
chip?
I got the joke. I just wasn't entertaining that joke. That was such a bad joke. Some jokes are like
The
bad
ship-
intel.
the- This game doesn't have any repair rearm chips at the moment. You know, you've got to fly to a station or a city or something. You know, to rearm or a mining pad.
Yeah. They're talking about
So
you
this
being
is
able
a
to
sh-
rearm and repair on an Idris soon. That's what they say.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on the Polaris as well, and when the Polaris
Mhm.
came out with it without it, they actually changed the description, but I don't know if they're changing it back because they are talking about bringing all this into the game, right? So, and I know several people that want one of these ships bad, but it would be very useful. You know how often I have to go to the station and restock or
Hey, here we
repair
go.
or
Chrissy is saying that
most of
confirmed in the tech preview is rearm, repair, and refuel for Idris Polaris and the Kraken. Interesting.
Okay, I'll continue with the Liberator.
Yeah.
Let's finish.
Yeah.
Likely with access to the medium radar scanner and the remote turret. In the vehicle bay, you have forward and rear ramp access. There's also supposed to be a retractable tractor beam somewhere as well. The last time it was mentioned, it was supposed to be stationed around about here on the main landing pad deck. In terms of design, it is a ship of a very singular purpose. Given the limited amount of crew space, the limited beds, and the 16 jump seats, it's safe to say the Liberator has a very focused, tactical purpose that is not designed to be a base or even a forward operating station. It is designed to quickly deploy a substantial amount of vehicular assets to the front line in a short space of time, or, you know, a whole mining org to a profitable location, or a racing team to
So is there any word on when this ship's being
my
released?
little solo fleet with my little mining vehicle, my little salvage vehicle, my little combat vehicle, my nurser parked in the bay.
I
maybe
think
get
it
a
says
little
at the
racing
end.
ship in there, so I can just go wandering the
Or did it
vertebrae,
say it at the
taking
start?
screenshots and munching
I
snuggle sticks.
missed
And
it.
unfortunately, the pool of information
wasn't
we
paying
have about this
attention.
ship is fairly limited. When more releases, I'll be sure to update this to be more like one of its bigger brothers that are longer and more
He
in
probably
in
just said it
production.
while I
have a
was
ton more
talking about
accompanying
it.
footage, like the Banu Merchantman one. You can
It's in
probably
production,
see above.
right?
As
Yeah.
always, thank
So-
you for stopping by. Take care out there.
Seems
in
like
the
they got a
world.
lot of detail on it so far. That's cool.
So what do we think about that?
I like it.
No refuel or repair makes it a shoebox. So what is it? Just that's what it's. It's supposed to be repair and rearm, isn't it? Minimum.
I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention, to be honest with you. I was thinking about vaping and taking dumps in my ship. And emptying out the black tank into space and refining it. Someone said we could refine it. Yep.
It's just the transport. It's supposed to be the whole. I thought it was supposed to do the whole 9 yards. That's what
Yeah.
I got a few people in my org keen to get one at IAE. Just for that reason, but now if it's not going to do what it was originally set out to do,
Well, hey, look at what time it is,
Well,
Ozzy. Are we gonna keep going, or are we
I
gonna?
would.
We can keep going if you want to.
Yeah, we can keep going. Why not?
Yeah, why the hell not? My stream doesn't start for 2 hours. My actual stream. This is like the pre-stream for my actual stream on Saturday. We do salvage Saturdays, by the way. This Saturday, I'm probably gonna take out my vulture. I haven't been out in a vulture in a while. I've been muddying around with the reclaimer, you know. Which kind of sucks for salvage Saturday because when you're doing the reclaimer, about half the time is the only time you're spending salvaging, and the rest of the time you're spending hauling fucking cargo around. The Liberator will only support basic levels of refueling, repairing, and rearming, which will be done manually by players on board using supplies stored in the cargo bay. It does not have dedicated facilities or separate stores. I got a question now. When they start this repair, rearm, and refuel on the capital ships, when you take that capital ship into port and dock it, and you do the rearm, repair, and refuel on the capital ship, will you have to buy more resources so that you can do the repair, rearm, and refuel? Where do those resources come
It
from?
depends. It depends. You're talking about the resources used to
To
repair,
repair
refuel, and
ships.
rearm other ships that come to that ship.
Yeah, and there's
So-
Twitch saying we don't know, unknown right now until it hits tech preview. You know,
Well, it'd kind of be pointless
because the repairs
if you had to.
the repairs and the refueling and stuff, it can't come from nowhere. I mean, even the Starfarer, don't you have to buy the fuel in order to fuel other ships up?
I thought it used to fill up on its own, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
to start up, it used to fill up on its own. I'm pretty sure. Like over a period of time, it would just fill up. But you can fill it up at the station.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really cost that much. But it's never really worked. Refueling has never really worked. You have to fuck around for 45 minutes to.
No, it doesn't. And
We tried for a long time.
From
Get it
one
to
patch to the next, you don't know what you're going to be able to hook up to the Starfarer, you know. ASOP terminal search bar in the tech preview. Really, Chrissy, that's exciting. I can get behind that shit. I get tired of scrolling through all my ships. I remember I missed the days when all I had was a Cuddy Black sometimes. Now I have to scroll
Who's the
like
tech Where's this tech preview? Is it Evo? Is it Evo Cody?
Evo only.
See, I'm wave 1, and that's regardless if I'm a subscriber or not, because I got a stupid amount of hours in this game. You know. If I done more reports and more issue council, I'd probably get Evo. But
Did you see the video on salvage that they're doing in Evo? Not salvage, but engineering. Where did I see this?
we could rip up.
That's
if
a
you,
good
if
video.
you got a link,
Let me find a.
if you got a link, put it in the chat.
Let me find it. Perseus. Incoming Levski Warzone. A lot of new videos come up. I got some homework to do now.
If you got another video you want to watch now, we'll put it on.
Let me see.
And
Let me see
after
if
we've done
this
this,
is
did
the
you want to
one.
go into PTU and have a look around?
Yeah, we can do that. Super Mac brother, this is the one. Let me share this link with you. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. This is talking about what's in Evo right now. October report mentions core gameplay, advanced inventory, revamp equipment, tabs, floating slots. We are bringing back the ability to have 2 weapons stored in your back while you hold a third one in your hands. Yep, I saw that.
"24 minutes. We want to watch this?"
We can watch some of it. Super mad.
Hello, Ryan
Yeah,
here.
Super Mac Brother's cool dude. I've
Yeah, I
rode him a
like
few
him.
times.
Today
He's
I
really
would
not.
like
He's
to
a
delve
really nice
further
guy.
into what
Yeah.
I
Oh,
experienced
blasted.
during my hands-on
Sorry, mate. Just wait a sec.
engineering tech
Blasted the
project.
wubstep. Nico is raiding.
Blasted the Wubstep Neko just raided with 7 viewers. Welcome to
7
Verse
viewers.
Vikings.
Hey, thanks for the raid there, Blasted.
Hey, blasted. How you going, mate? Welcome in, Fox and Moon. How you going, mate? Come in, grab a seat. We're just watching a video on engineering. Okay.
As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members.
Wow, this
Do
thing's
this
got
without
some
you guys,
big
so
ball
thank you
sacks
Oh, just
for your
wait.
support.
Can hear his shout out.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
That's funny.
What?
Is it still going?
I don't know.
Right.
They're going to
No
show
worries,
us
Blasted.
stuff.
Have a good one, mate.
Have a special sale going on right now where you can get 20% off any Game Glass purchase.
I'm just gonna
be that
switch my
monthly,
camera off again
annual,
for
or
a second.
lifetime pass
Okay.
Until the 11th of November. And to get this deal, just follow the link in the description below, but also use that code SMB2955 as shown here or in the description. And any
So these these engineering panels look pretty cool. I know that when he did this video, he couldn't show anything from Evocati, but he could talk about some things that he saw on Evo.
But he's using Game Glass or Game Touch controller at the moment, right? With a yeah.
That's what he said.
Okay.
As many of you are aware, recently the Tech Preview channel opened up for an engineering playtest with the Evocati test group. Now, due to the NDA, I am not allowed to show any footage or play any audio from this test.
There you
but
go.
I am allowed to speak openly about what I saw and experienced. So in the background, where possible, I will display any officially shared by CIG footage or images of this engineering system, which relates to what I am talking about as closely as possible. Also, do note.
And I wonder, where does he get this footage? Because I hadn't seen any of this footage until I watched this.
Tech preview last night.
Till I watched
this is all the stock
YouTube.
footage that they release with the promotional.
Hey, 07 Blasted.
07 Blasted.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
that's a PRS and a
this-
Takamine in the background.
This is leaks, and this is all like advertisement footage that they've released over the years, you know, and in
Okay.
the past, and he reuses it. All right, so it's all stock footage from CIG mostly, you know.
Yeah, the
they've
Star
just
Engine
says this footage
preview.
is from the Star Engine.
Some
preview.
of it is. Some of it is. Yeah.
But it didn't come along. So chances are it'll come tonight, and we will have more Evocati engineering tests to look forward to. So with that said, I would like to delve further into the engineering mechanic and share more detail of what I experienced for those who are interested. Now first up, I tested it with the cutter. I began by using a multi-tool with a Cambio light and empty RMC canister in the hopes that I would be able to scrape a little bit off of the hull and then test repairing components when they were damaged. But unfortunately, throughout the testing, I couldn't get the tool to even scrape RMC. However, the augmented reality UI for the salvage device did look very clean with the name of the ship. The section of the ship that I was pointing it at as well, be that the hull, the thruster and so on, plus the amount of salvageable material that is on that section and how much RMC you have in the canister, as well as in some sections when in repair mode, the integrity of that part. So chances are it'll let us know what state each section is in so that you can make a decision on which part to repair first. It even gave a readout for the maneuvering thrusters, so actively separating and highlighting maneuvering thrusters so you can individually treat them. I know in 4.3.2 right now we are able to fix thrusters and turrets using RMC, but I don't think it gives you a readout distinguishing these as separate entities with the UI. Now from there, I went to the cutter's cockpit to see the new MFD, and for the cutter there are no dedicated engineering screens dotted around the ship.
You see this?
Just have the cockpit
See this
MFD.
racing?
Yeah.
One of my mates, General Seeker. I'll just give him a shout out.
Okay.
Right, good bloke. Full-time army, I think.
Nice.
Good bloke. He's a low flyer from way back. Racer man. I was gonna do an event, but then I had a really piss poor turnout, so it was really demotivating and blah blah blah. Anyway, he's a top-notch racer, and he flies sideways, man. Like,
Yep, and I do
so
too.
the horizontal
Okay, radar
is
cool.
vertical, right? And
Yeah.
crazy to watch it. Yeah. I'll introduce you to him one day, and we'll go racing and just fucking around. All right.
Okay. Sounds
But
like
anyway.
fun.
Called diagnostics, and this is where you can see each individual component, life support and all individual thrusters, missile racks and weapons with the type of component above and the
I like what he says later in this video. I don't know if we want to show the whole thing, but he talks about how the engineering screens, you can access all the doors. You can see where all the fuses, what they power and stuff. So if a fuse goes out, you know where to go look to repair the fuse.
Do you want me to fast forward through it?
Oh, I don't know where to find it. I just glanced through this video once. See, this is where I need to start taking some notes so I'll know what the timestamp is. Here we go.
Very cool. And as a default splash screen before clicking it, it has a box in the center showing any events as notification timelines. So at a glance, you will be able to just see if there is something wrong.
And you saw that dude using the extinguisher then?
Yeah, and that's one of the other things he talks about in here is that you will be able to use
See
the
that?
fire
Showing any
extinguishers.
events.
Yeah.
Okay, now who was it? Twitchit? Was it Twidget? Said just before. Oh no, it was Chrissy. Okay, yeah, core gameplay. Yeah, I read all that and watched that. To have two weapons on your back and then pick one up on your hand. Now, I do believe that the reason for that being the fire extinguisher is going to be like a gun.
Oh, yeah.
You
You got to be able
You
to
know
use
what
a
I'm
fire
saying?
extinguisher without throwing your gun on the fucking ground.
right? So, yes, 100%. Yes, I agree. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay, we'll continue now. Right.
As notification
Plus
timelines.
max lift,
So
plus loot.
at a glance, you will be able to just see if there is something wrong and then click on it to look into it further. Now, once you do click on it, it takes you to the initial screen, being the 3D viewer, where it shows you the ship as a map hologram with room
Well, to
interactions
be
for
honest
life
with you,
support.
Chrissy, Luton is one of the. You know how many times I've had two guns on my back and one on my hand, and you back in the day when Luton was when you needed your gear and you lost everything every time you died, you'd loot all this stuff and you'd run back in and you'd pick up the two guns, and you couldn't fit guns in your backpack back then, right? So you had to have them on your back and one in your hand. And it's a quality of life thing. It's not core gameplay. It's just quality of life. To say it's core gameplay, I think it's more of a quality of life feature. But anyway,
So you can turn life support on and off and vent each section individually. It also tells you the temperature for each room and the pressure. And for the Intrepid, it has the cockpit, hallway behind the cockpit, the living quarters and toilet, engineering bay, and both cargo bays, which is setting up for future hauling mechanics like ensuring that the cargo bay is at an optimal temperature or has oxygen for what you might be hauling. Now on the same screen, you can see in the top left-hand corner the amount of consumed oxygen, I assume, with it being labelled life support, the amount of cooling allocated in a percentage, and just with power on, it was about 80%.
that's the Intrepid.
And then
Right, that's just the Intrepid. That's a tiny little one-man ship.
Right.
Right? Do you have to get out of the pilot seat to go into the engineering seat in the Intrepid? Like it.
I don't know. I mean, some of these smaller ships have engineering screens. I know the Asgard has an engineering screen downstairs where the jump seats are.
Yeah, but anyway, the Intrepid is like a one-man ship, a solo ship. So you have, and it looks like this dude's in front of an engineering panel.
Yeah.
So if this is the Intrepid, right, that means you got to get out of your seat. Let's say
Go
you're
to
in
the
the middle of
engineering
combat.
panel.
You got to do all this stuff. You're in the middle of combat, and meanwhile, I've heard rumors that if there's warning on your power plant and you can't remove it within a certain amount of time, your ship's going to blow up. So, for a one-man ship, that's a lot of work.
I tell you,
man.
like it is in the military, when you have someone downed or injured, and I think the same idea transfers to a spaceship. You fight the fight, and then you worry about fixing things. You fight the fight as long as you can, and then you fix whatever's broken. And I think the balance in the gameplay here is going to be, and excuse me while I get my head wrapped around this, but it's going to be how much time you actually have to spend repairing your ship and maintaining your ship. One of the things he talks about in this video is, they may change the amount you're able to respawn your ship when it's damaged. So you may become more connected to your ship this way and doing engineering stuff, repairing your ship and maintaining it. And
but okay, and I get that this is tier 1 or tier 0 of engineering or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do believe an engineer should be a benefit to a ship and not just damage control. And it appears that the main reason for an engineer in Star Citizen is damage control, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, one of the other things he talked about was you'd be like on a large capital ship, you'd be able to control what doors are open or locked. If you're boarded by a opposing force, you'll be able to see what doors they're accessing and maybe cut them off and lock them, and the doors are nowhere to go to engage those intruders. Stuff like that.
Yep. Is this the door part?
Yeah, see if you can find the door part. That
Both
was
ways,
pretty
with
interesting.
stowaways potentially being able
Yeah, here
to
we go.
sabotage and stop control access on the bridge. So there would need to be ways to counter both. Now for the doors, it highlights all doors on the ship, from entrances, internal doors, cargo bay doors, and engineering panels where the components are housed. And each one, as you hover over it, tells you its health and allows you to lock it and an option to open or close it. So essentially an override for physical interactions. So having an engineer on board to handle that will be very helpful, especially in case of an emergency. For example, if you're boarded or boarding another ship, you can control which doors get opened where. You also get
Or
to
if
see
you're
the
boarding
animation
another
of it
ship,
on
if you get
screen
to
in
an
real
engineer
time as you
panel, you
open
can
and close
open
it.
the doors
So
so
you'll
that
actually be able to
your
see
friends can go
exactly
in
when
and
someone might be
do what they do.
boarding your ship or traveling through your ship, which is a very
Yeah.
interesting premise. Of course, locking the door can slow up any boarders, but on the flip side, having someone hacking into these systems would be kind of cool. Now, for the components toggle, this displays where each component is located, and when hovering over one, although the readouts can differ slightly, it generally tells you its name and its role, its health, its damage, I think, and its temperature too, which of course is important to monitor, plus you can turn it on and off here as well. Now, hovering over a fuse, it kind of showed a lot of lines shooting out, which I think was bugged. I think it's supposed to show you the proper connections of where the fuses connect to what, and this will eventually allow players to know how to bypass connections. If a fuse goes down or a system goes down, you can bypass the power and get it back up and running again, although that didn't work here. Now, clicking on the Settings tab, this was on the far left of the screen, and this then presents you with the Power Pip allocation screen, just like what we have on the MFDs, so that you can have full control over how much power is getting distributed throughout the ship.
So they're going to have presets here too.
Yeah,
Right, so you can have all your presets, power management,
yeah.
rah.
Over on the left there, you have the available pips, and on the
Yeah,
right, you have the
yep.
systems you can put them into.
Yeah.
It's going to be real handy having an engineer on these large capital ships. I think that's going to be a definite role in the game. If you're a good engineer, you can go in and really be a combat multiplier for your crew, you know. Hey, Scotty, give me more power to the shields. All power to phasers. Fire. You know.
Yeah, but I've got.
We have
I've
an
gotten
intruder on deck 4.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't. I wish there was more benefit, you know. But yeah, twisted my arm. Right,
Yeah,
should we
it'll be
continue with this, or-
interesting. It'll be interesting to see it play out, you know. Like for example, this afternoon for me, my org is doing a squadron battle against Cube, you know, where we're going to be in Idris's and whatever. And think of it
Yep.
if you had, oh, there's my little doggy in the background stretching her neck. Hello, Harley. Think of it if you had an engineer on the ship. If your engineer is better than their engineer, they can keep you in the fight longer, you know, on an interest. Yeah, prepare for death, Chrissy. Don't worry, I'm gonna be in a turret. I'm gonna be gunning for you, Chrissy. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, should we continue?
allowing you
Yeah.
to then obviously
But Captain,
prioritize
I'm an engineer,
where your
not a
power
magician.
goes. Now, for multi-crew ships, this can take the pressure off of the pilot to mess with, or even the co-pilot, giving the chief engineer on board complete control to do what is required for each situation.
Make sure your
Also,
engineer
do note
never
that
wears a red
regardless of
shirt.
what tab you are on, be that the 3D viewer, the
I think I've got a
settings
couple of
tab, or the
people keen on
presets
being
tab,
engineer,
you can
man.
still see
So,
things like life support percentage,
Yeah.
cooling systems, and fuel percentage
but
readouts.
but
They're not
regardless, like I like to think I know a bit about everything Star Citizen. So this is something that I'll probably learn regardless, even if I don't like the gameplay, like salvage and mining and cargo and
Yeah,
all the
all the
all the stuff
things.
that's like watching paint dry. But
Yeah.
but each to their own.
Yeah, I always tell
Um,
people I want to play the whole game. I don't want to just play part of the game. I want to play the whole game. And I got in a rut when I first started playing Star Citizen where all I was doing was cargo. That's all I did for like the first month and a half I played Star Citizen. I just built up my Covalex rep running cargo. And then I discovered Pyro and the first person shooting, and I got over my fear of dying in the game, which is really silly, because it's just a game. I had this
wh-
fear that if I
when
died, something bad was going to happen. And that's when I decided, I just want to play the whole fucking game, you know. And
when
engineering's
they
going to
brought
be
out
part of that.
salvage gameplay and the reclaimer worked, I'm not sure if they brought out the vulture at the same time when they brought out salvaging, but they had these salvage missions, right?
Yeah,
And you'd rock up, and they'd be full of drugs, stuff, right? And drugs paid really good money back then, and it was all me and everyone done, man. We went and done these salvage missions, and you just rock up. Or there was a mission called In the Wake of Disaster, I think it was called, and it was like a forgotten battlefield. Go salvage all the ships, but they all had drugs on them too. So we didn't worry about salvaging anything because it didn't really pay much when it first came out. Oh,
yeah,
well, it probably did actually. It probably paid a lot better than it did now. Anyway, we just went for the drugs, man, and then they changed the gameplay, and it was you could get drugs from all the Vaughan missions. So we'd go and do all the Vaughan missions and take the drugs because they nerfed the salvage gameplay where you could find all the cargo. But for argument's sake, me and someone for 12 hours one day done this cargo salvage, just going to the salvage sites and salvaging all the cargo. And we done it for 12 hours, man, and I ended up with 660 SCU of maize
ooh,
or something, right? And I went and parked up, and the next day I sat at, well, it was either Brios or Samson and Son, right? On Yeah, because they used to be the only places you could take drugs to sell them, unless you went to a no questions asked terminal at some of
yeah,
the space stations, right? But
yeah,
these places were also PvP zones, so you had to go in with a crew, security. But it took me 4 hours to sell 660 SCU, like, because I could only sell 30 SCU or
at
something
a
every server tick,
time.
and a server tick is
Yeah,
like 12 minutes or something. So, and you'd have to refresh the screen every 30 seconds. And
right.
it was painful, man. But I
That
sat
is.
there and I'd done it, and maybe that's why I'm not so into cargo gameplay anymore, and I just rather blow stuff up.
Yeah,
But I done a lot of it, man, and I done a lot of salvage when it all came in. But I've been there, done that. I like to blow shit up. I like to kill cunt. I like to have fun with the boys.
yeah,
Running with a big crew is awesome, man. But at the same time, I'm a solo player, and this game it's not kind to solo players at the moment.
no. No, those of y'all who watch my stream know I do space trucking Tuesdays, but most of the time, well, at least for the first part of it, I'm usually hauling stuff that I mined previously, and and then I'll go. I'm working on my Red Wind line haul rep and pyro, so I'll go run some cargo and pyro, but it's dangerous, sometimes you're out there hauling cargo and unloading your C2 at, I don't know, any ground base in Pyro, and some guy in a Guardian might show up, and you think, oh shit, I'm about to fucking die, you know. Oops. And then you don't. And then sometimes you don't. Sometimes they just fly off and leave you alone, you know. Some players have respect
Yep.
for what you're doing, you know. But, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, you can take off from the hangar not knowing whether you're coming back or not, you know, without going to a med bed. And it's just, the game's risky. That's one of the things about the game that adds to the immersion is you might take off and go do anything and end up losing your shirt at any given time. You know, you might get taken over by pirates. You know, I got one clip, one of my favorite clips. I was salvaging in the Reclaimer solo, and I was on a salvage head just chomping away at the, you know, scraping away at the hull of the ship. And when I got up out of my scraping chair, there was a fucking pirate right there, lit me up, took me out, stole like 4 million credits worth of cargo from me. You know, it is what it is. It's just it's fun. It's even when
You
I'm
know how I
dying
said
in this
earlier,
game.
you know how I said earlier, there's all these gameplay loops that they haven't brought back in, like they used to have in game and never brought back. And then I remember you saying earlier, when you're on your way to Levski, you got interdicted.
Yeah.
Well, that used to be an NPC event all the time, right? If you QT'd somewhere, you know, longer than 20 gig, you'd get interdicted by NPCs, and it was kind of fun, man. It got to be a pain in the ass because it happened all the time. But
I don't
then
think it was
when
the last patch, but it was the
happened,
patch before that I got interdicted by NPCs. I think it was 4.3.0. I got interdicted by NPCs. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure that would have been players, because the
I don't
interdiction
know.
hasn't been a thing for a
Well,
while.
it was real easy to overpower them and get back into QT, so that's why I don't think they were players. Could have been, but
Yeah, no, NPC interdiction hasn't been a thing since like 320
you know.
or something. Yeah, but it used to be a gameplay, and I got interdicted by a pirate one day, man, and he worked me down and he killed my ship, and you know, and it was a lot of fun, and I ended up EVAing and grenading his door open, but then he killed me. But it was a lot of fun. Some of the most fun I had. It was like that 2-minute adrenaline burst, you know.
Right.
Oh, I'm out. I'm
Right.
free. I'm in
Yeah.
his ship. You know, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know?
what we
But,
play for, man. When you're quantuming into a situation where you're doing a player bounty or something, you don't know what you're gonna get into, and then you end up in a fight with a good pilot. Your adrenaline just gets going, and it's just really good gameplay.
Yeah, and then
And
it
then you
ends
find
up
out
EVA,
it's
and
then
you're
you
inside
find
someone
out
else's ship.
Then you find out it's moist noodle, and oh shit, you're dead. You know.
Oh well. Cool. Well, should we watch the rest of the video, or should
Yeah,
we like?
we can watch some more of this. Whatever you want to do, man.
Notifications tab and other buttons are there as well, so you can
Well-
always see the important stuff.
I would like to go
Every
and check
time
out this
you
stuff
turn
in
anything on or off,
PTU.
it'll drop a
Yeah, okay.
notification, so you can have somewhat of a temporary record of
mainly
what's
these
going
new
on.
missions,
Something
and
to
maybe.
keep an eye on too. As
Does
if
anyone
someone's
know
on
where I can
board
get this
messing with
boom
systems
tube from?
that shouldn't be,
Anyone
be
in the
that another
chat?
crew member
Boom tube,
or
the new
boarder, it'll
thing,
likely highlight it
PTU,
there,
it's in the
and you'll
patch
be able
notes.
to see it
Oh,
and then
I don't
investigate
know.
further or send someone to investigate why that's happening. Now, for the presets tab, this is going to be very interesting. You start with one, be the default one. There may be other
Thing
tabs
is, I don't. How do
by
we do
default at
this?
some point,
Us
but if you
both going
click
into the
plus
PTU. We
symbol,
haven't tested
you are then
that out
granted
on
a
stream
new one.
before.
And it looks like at this time you can have up to 10, as when you clicked a new one, it said 2 out of 10.
No, we
And
just
you
go
can
back to
delete
our
or
normal
edit at
stream
any point
after
Yeah.
this,
so you'll be
and
able
then
to name it, for
cameras
example,
aren't
to
important,
stealth,
but we still got the
cognito,
shared
power, or
chat.
weapons,
That's
whatever you
right.
want
That's
the
right.
to be for, and then you can
Yep.
toggle between them quickly.
Just
depending
go
on
to
the
live
situation
scene,
you're in.
right?
Like, you
Yeah.
might be in econ mode if you want to
Yeah,
save on
well,
systems degrading and be
Are we going to
used,
finish
or
this
have a bit
video,
more
or are we
power
going to
and
end it and go into
protect,
PTU?
full
Let's go to
power.
the
But then
PTU. Where are
once
you at in the
move into the
PTU?
actual
You
new
and
preset
Levski?
option, you add
We can get into it. We can party up.
I'll be at area 18.
Okay. Well,
It's
I'm at
going to take
Levski in
me
the
10 minutes to
PTU.
get to Nick's.
Alrighty.
Rightio. Well, let's do an official bloody end to this the podcast. Thanks
Okay.
everyone for coming to the podcast. This was cool. This was pretty good fun.
Yeah, good
We will definitely
times,
do this
man.
again, eh?
Thanks for all the viewers, and thanks for the questions and the comments. Y'all are going to help us make
Yeah.
this really good, I think.
It's the comments that keep us going. Otherwise, we're just two old men talking shit.
Too
you
old,
know?
yeah,
So-
totally talking shit up in here. Not totally. We talked shit a little bit when we came to RVs and dumping black tanks and stuff. But
thanks for coming to the first podcast between myself and Chin Shield. He's all legends.
it's been a lot of fun.
Rightio. Okay.